Hey guys, it's Rob. Leave a message. Meet you guys at the park at around noon for the big game. Bring the victory beer, and I'll make the slow smoked pork and some beer-based tenderloins. A little rice and beans, and there's a doubleheader on the tube tonight. See you at the park.
This is not a drill.
It's time to grill.
Action! It's a great day for baseball. The boys are coming over. We're gonna have a wicked baseball game this afternoon. Now, once we finish that game, boys are gonna come back to my place, some barbecued pork sandwiches, and a special doubleheader on the screen tonight. Got the house to myself. It's gonna be a great day. I have my brown sugar here. I'm doing pork two ways. I'm doing slow smoke and I'm doing some fast high heat grilling. For the slow smoke, I'm doing Robbie's rub here. A little dry mustard. This pulls all the flavors together. A little cayenne for heat. A little marjoram. Again, marjoram and thyme really work well together. They're classic combinations. A little coriander. Again, thyme, flavor it adds. A little paprika for color. A little celery salt. You can use regular salt, and I'm going to use that too, but I love the flavor of celery salt. Classic hickory. Works really well on the grill. And that's what barbecuing is all about. Garlic powder. A little pepper. A little salt. Now, dry rub is complete. But experiment with flavors. If you'd like it a little hotter, a little sweeter, that's up to you. Experiment with your rubs. Now, want to see my butt? Now, this is a Boston butt. Very inexpensive cut of meat, lots of marbling and lots of connective tissues that have to break down. Dry rub all in here. We're going to break down some of this tissue, but it's going to be smoked over a long period of time. Why am I using gloves? Cayenne and paprika really stain your hands. So it's always a good thing to use gloves to protect them. Now, remember I called this a Boston butt before? It really isn't a butt. It's from higher up on the pig. It's a shoulder cut. Now, making sure I get all of the dry rub in here because I'm actually starting to break it down a little bit. Pock marks the meat and it starts to break it down, but you want to rub it all in there. Just get in there with your hands. Feel free at this point.
You might want to do some of those outdoor activities you've been saving up.
Now this is a tough cut of meat. I'm gonna slow smoke this over a long period of time. It's gonna be tender and juicy. It's literally just gonna start falling apart. It's gonna be beautiful. Now into the fridge for 4 hours. This can stay up to a day. Not a problem whatsoever. The longer the better. Off with those gloves, on with this glove. Time to go practice my curveball. My dry rub Boston butt. Been in the fridge for about 4 hours. All those flavors now have come together. The heat, the smokiness, all of those things are here now. Now what I want to do, and this is a little secret, okay? I've left it out for 45 minutes. I want the internal temperature to be about the same temperature as the outside. Let me just show you this drip pan. It's gonna catch all of the fat. This is an incredibly fatty cut of meat. So just get that on as far away. We've got two classic combinations here, hickory and mesquite wood. That's gonna flavor this meat perfectly. Want to slow smoke this, 200 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this is gonna take about 5 hours. I've got two sauces to make. Now, there are two schools of thoughts when it comes to barbecuing sauces. There's tomato base and vinegar base. I'm gonna show you the vinegar base first. I've seen guys fight to the death over this, but you know what? I'm gonna make them both, so don't worry about it. A little vinegar, a little brown sugar for sweetness. Now, at this point, just wanna get a little whisk in here. Start dissolving that sugar nice and easily. Now, a little ketchup. Little chili here for heat. Now, you can use as much or as little as you want at this point. I'm going heavy because I want this nice and piquant. Little whack of salt, whack of pepper. Mix, 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 mix. Wow. The brown sugar and the ketchup really have come out, but over a period of time, the hot chili flakes are gonna really give it a good punch. This is a classic vinegar-based sauce, and this can last forever in your fridge. On to our tomato base. Let's sweat off a little garlic and onion, because that's very, very important. Let's get a little tomato sauce in. Dump that all in. Little Worcester. Couple splashes, don't have to measure anything out. Now the hot sauce. Go heavy or light. I like it really spicy, so I'm just gonna put a little extra in there, but you can back off if you'd like. Now a little liquid smoke, couple drops. We smoked on the grill, now we're smoking in this little bottle here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Little dry mustard. Really essential to any good barbecuing. A little mix here, and a little brown sugar, because everybody loves brown sugar. My secret ingredient here, some applesauce. Now, apples and pork are a really good marriage. So be liberal on this. We want that flavor to come right out. There we go. More acidity, the lemon juice. Fresh lemon juice, very, very important. Let's get a few more in there. For just a bit more tartness, some cider vinegar. We used a lot before, now we're just using a little bit. Just drop that in. All right, let's just give it a little taste here. Wow. We did the vinegar base, and that was really high in acidity. Now we've got the tomato base. Way more complex because we've got all these flavors working together here. Just needs a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, go. Let's bring that together again, give it another little taste. Wow. Wow. When that reduces, that's going to taste really hot. And you can taste the tomatoes. Really, really good. Wow, look at this. 2 hours and it's really looking good. All my wood, all that smoke's died down now. Look at all that stuff down there. All of that is the fat that's dripped off of the pork into the dripping pan. No flare-ups. It's all down there. Now, remember that sauce I made a little earlier? Vinegar-based one? What we like to do now, just mop our meat. Want to do this every half an hour or so? I have a gas barbecue, and it's really easy for me to control the heat. But for those of you who have a charcoal grill at home, you have a greater chance of drying the meat out. So it's really important for you to mop or baste in between. One more mop here, and I've got to get to the game. It's the bottom of the ninth. We're up by 1 run. Their big hitter's up. He smacks a pop fly to center field. Rod's backing up. He's backing up. He's backing up. Wow, he's out. We win the game. Rod wins the game. Boom, boom, boom. So the boys are out getting some beer and stuff. And I've got 2 simple rules to my baseball parties. No girls and no salads. Get a little onion in here for rice and beans. Get in all the hard vegetables first. Let's get a little sweat here. Put in some green pepper and some onions. A little bacon already rendering down. Just want to get that nice and coated, a little soft. A little garlic next. Get that all in there. Break it down. Make sure it's all mixed in properly. Just a touch of tomato paste for color, a little acidity, but really for the color. Just mix that around. Time to add the rice. Want to toast off the rice so it develops a little bit of nuttiness, and it just releases a bit of the oil too. It really tastes good this way. Let's get it mixed in, coated with all the oil and all the ingredients in the pot right now. Let's add a little bit of our dried spices now. Got some thyme, which is a real traditional West Indian flavoring. A little basil, add another dimension of sweetness. It's all about layering. A little salt, a little pepper for some heat. What I want to do is I want to get some of that liquid from the kidney beans into the pot. This will start to actually start the flavor and color. That's what we're really looking for here. All that in, just fill it up with water. Cover your rice. Just mix it in, make sure that the rice is all covered. Perfect. Just cover this, let it cook. Wow, this rice is almost there now. Let's give it a nice little stir. Still a little moist, but we have to add our kidney beans now. This will add another dimension. These are already cooked, so you don't want to keep them in there forever. Just put them in, fold them in, and let them get nice and hot now. So, little lime juice, wake up all these flavors. Some kidney beans, lime juice, onions, peppers. Wow, this is gonna taste great. Boys are really gonna enjoy this. All right, let's give it another little stir, and I'm just gonna bring this up to temperature. Turn the temperature right down, and just let it steam, and that's done. Beauty of cooking outdoors. Gonna make a kick-ass relish here. A little fresh cilantro, just quickly chopped. Right into our bowl here. A little onion, a little radish. That'll add a little heat. Let's get a little toss here. Now, let's add a little bit of citric acid, which is our white wine vinegar. It's gonna go really well. A little sweetness here. Here we go, nice honey. Nice little toss. And this is really simple. Just toss it, get it into the fridge for a couple hours before the guys come over. This is gonna go really well with the pulled pork. Pork tenderloin, really tender cut of meat. It's the exact opposite to the Boston butt, which is a really fat and tough cut of meat. This has hardly any fat at all. Take a look at that. That's why I'm gonna use high heat grilling for this. Now for that mandley marinade. pork tenderloin into my plastic bag because we can control the environment that way. This is the manly part. Little stout. Pour that all over. Little dry mustard because it's essential to all good barbecuing. This pulls a lot of the flavors out. Just put that in. Little horseradish for some heat. Little Dijon for a touch more heat, but again, this is a tang that it's going to add. Little salt, little pepper. Let's do a little mix here. Just a touch more of the stout because I want to coat all of that pork tenderloin. Let's just hold that bag and tip. Beautiful. Couple onions in here for more flavor. And that trick I've shown. Just a little bruising first. Rosemary in. Quick close. Get this into the fridge for an hour for marinating. Make sure we get that all coated. Massage that. Massage it. Make sure it's all through. And away we go. So I have my pork that's been marinating for an hour now. Let's get it out onto our tray. Here we go. 1, 2, come on, maybe. There we go. And that's it. Now we're not done with this. All that stout, I'm going to play with it some more. So let's just drain that in. Get all those onions in there. There we go. You can get rid of the rosemary right now. Now, I'm going to reserve those onions. I'm going to play with those a little later. Stout, I'm going to reduce this. Get it onto the grill. Pot that I'm using right now has a heavy bottom and a metal handle. If you don't have that, you have a wooden handle, wrap it in foil. Just make sure it's a heavy bottom pan and pull it off the heat. Let this reduce by at least half. It's going to take about 20 minutes. Just let the grill do the work. Let it reduce. All right, let's get some grapeseed oil on here. All we want to do is make sure that nothing sticks. We spent all that time marinating. Don't want anything to stick. Remember those onions that I had in my manly marinade? I've separated them out. And you know what I'm going to do with them? Right into my trusty basket here. Now, if you don't have a basket, you can use foil. Just let those cook down. Those are going to caramelize and get nice and sweet. Pork tenderloin on at this point. There we go. Now these are going to be on for about 5 minutes. You don't want to fuss with it. You don't want to start turning them at this point. Just leave it alone. Let the grill do the work. I got about 5 minutes, so it gives me time for a beer. Those pork tenderloins, they're done now. Wow, this has been about 5 hours now. And if you can pull the pork off, like I just did, that means it's done perfectly. Boys don't deserve this at all. This is the vinegar base, and this is the tomato base. All right, guys, let's make our sandwich. You can use your fingers, man. Come on! Close it up. Throw it over. Oh, here, we're talking here. Any cream. All right. Guys, the game started 5 minutes ago. Let's go, man.